Hey Glam Squad, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So the other day I got a beautiful Sigma package in the post, but like literally everything you could imagine inside it. I was just absolutely blown away. It was totally unexpected. I didn't know it was coming. I just got an email to say that there is a FedEx delivery on the way. I had absolutely no idea what was inside or how big or small it was, and my gosh, can I just say that Sigma was so generous. So thank you so much for sending down all these amazing products. So I'm going to be doing a Sigma kind of brand focus video today. I actually haven't tried any of, apart from a highlight and contour palette and maybe one or two brushes, I actually haven't tried any of Sigma's products before, so that's going to be really interesting. The star of the show is going to be the brand new Cor De Rosa palette, which is just absolutely stunning. I'm just so impressed with the palette. It's just so beautiful. So, and if you do stay tuned to the end of the video, I do share a really good dupe for this palette as well, if it's just a little bit outside of your budget. So if you'd like to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. This is one of their brand new launches. They've just released this collection, and can we just take a second to appreciate this palette? Oh my god, it is absolutely stunning. The detail in the packaging, oh my god, it's like gorgeous pink and rose gold, and then when you open it up here, you have a beautiful color story. You know, like the size and shape of the palette reminds me a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills. I kind of get that feel of it, but the color selection, oh my god, is so beautiful. All like warm tones, which are really complimentary on everyone, and then also the color story is just absolutely beautiful as well. And you know, like pinks and reds, oh, they're all like my favorite colors. As you can see, I'm a big pink fan, but one thing that really sold me on this palette, I know it's such a small detail, but for me, I just thought, oh my god, wow, it's this shadow right here. Can we just take a second to appreciate that rose? Like, the detail, like, it's almost a shame to use it. It's just so beautiful. So now that we have taken time to appreciate the beauty of the palette, I'm going to be taking a couple of different shades from it. So I'm going to be working with Apricot, which is right here. I'm going to be taking a little bit of the pink shade, the kind of reddish purpley shade, and then also the, hang on, I'm looking at it backwards, the shade right here, which is the rose gold shade. So I'm just taking a little bit of Apricot, the transition shade, on a fluffy blending brush, and this I'm just going to blend back and forth across the crease as usual. This is going to be our nice base and like transition shade, as you know. It's going to help all the other colors blend better together. So this is going like back and forth, and then I'm just buffing it up towards the brow bone. And I actually had a viewer reach out to me on Instagram, and she was, you know, wondering how to work with darker shades so it doesn't look too harsh up here in your brow bone. So like, this is the top tip, to use a transition color first, and this will really help you, because when you're blending the other shades, this lighter shade is going to peek through the top of the darker shade, so it's going to blend out flawlessly, kind of like a gradual effect. So you're going from like dark to, like, you can see transition shade right in here, and then you have your brow bone highlight, so it just looks a lot more natural. So it doesn't look like your eyeshadow just stopped here and then you have a big harsh line. And then of course just like blending the edges with a little bit of what? Just blending the edges with your blending brush, just kind of going around the edges, will help soften your eyeshadow as well, so it doesn't look too harsh. So I hope that helps you guys just a little bit. So now I'm going to go into that kind of pinky shade, and this, we're just going to focus this right on the crease of the eye, just above the eyeball, just blending it back and forth again, but this time not going as high up as the lighter shade. And again, this is just going to act really as like another kind of a transition shade, I suppose, because if I go straight in with the dark shade, it will just look really choppy and harsh. So I just like to build it up, light to dark. That's just my rule of thumb, but everyone's different. I also like to bring this in the outer corner, like right up to like where your eyeball kind of starts, because we want it to like fade out gradually like this eye. So I'm just going to pack this on and then just start buffing it out. Okay, again, taking the same brush, we're going to go into Shakespeare, which is a beautiful kind of a purpley red. In some of the Sigma pictures, it actually looked really like red, but in real life it looks more like a purpley shade. So this is going to be our darkest shade. So this we're going to focus again in the crease, but keeping it nice and tight. And I'm actually going to hold the brush near the kind of the top of the handle, kind of like here. And this is just going to give me a lot more control. So I like to kind of like put my finger on my nose for a little bit of support. So this is going to go right in, keeping it nice and tight in the crease. Just bringing it right into the inner corner, but keeping it nice and kind of tight in there. We don't want to like bring it up too far. We want it to be really defined. And then bring it back. And then we're just going to pat it into the outer corner. Now I'm just going to hold the brush further down. So remember I discussed in my last beginner's makeup lesson, if you hold the brush at the end of the handle, it gives you the least amount of control. So the brush is more flexible and it's really good for buffing colour out, making it look more flawless and blended without taking away the colour, because you have the least amount of pressure on the brush. So I'm just going to dip into a little bit more of the purple, again holding it at the end of the handle, and this time we're just going to go over it. So you have the colour placed down where you want it, and now you're just kind of buffing over it to deepen it a little bit, but also soften out the edges. And we're also going to pop it onto the outer corner. And there's a little bit of line around that brush, so just ignore that. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. So a few of you said in my last video that the volume was pretty low. And again, I do apologize, it's all a learning curve. I didn't realize that the volume was too low because I did actually have headphones in when I was editing. So that was just an absolute disaster. So I'm going to up the volume for this video. So fingers crossed everything turns out okay. You can leave me know in the comment section if there's anything else I need to work at. I really do appreciate your feedback, but do bear with me because I am no tech genius and this is all a learning curve. Like, I just want to create the videos and get on with it, but there's just so much to consider when you're doing videos. Like, I'm no expert, but all of a sudden I had to be, you know, a filming expert, a lighting expert, an editing expert, you name it. So it's a lot to take in, so bear with me. I'm just going to go in with a smaller, more detailed blending brush, and I'm just going to go right into the crease, and I'm just going to work on deepening that purple color. This is optional, but I just like to deepen it up because once you cut the crease, I think you lose a little bit of the color, or you feel like it's not like deep enough. And then when you have your crease cut, if you're going back over kind of blending it, I feel like you can ruin your like cut crease effect a little bit. So it's just easier just to do the hard work before you cut the crease. So now I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution concealer. This is in shade White. I'm just going to rub a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to take this really small detail brush from Sigma. It's the E05. And this is amazing for cutting the crease because it's so small and so detailed. I just found this brush and oh my god, it was like the brush that was missing from my collection for sure. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more concealer because I never put enough on my hand. I'm actually running low. I'm near the end of this tube. That's how much I use this. Okay, so I just like to look straight ahead. So they're even, and I'm just going to put a little dot where I want the crease to be. So I'll start in here in the inner corner. We'll bring this right up to the dot, and then we'll bring this right down. So I kind of like to do like the cutting effect first because this needs to be really precise. So I like to get my edges right. And then you can just bring down the color once that's done. And you can always swap brushes if you want more control for the lid. So you can like swap to like a flat brush like this, and you can just start packing on the white concealer just to kind of blend that out on the lid. Yeah, so you just want the cut to like finish here because we already did this like beautiful blending, so we don't want to blend that away. So I actually was starting to blend it down. It was just a little boo-boo, so I just went back over it. It's just a quick tip if you ever do make that mistake, and you can just like softly blend it out just before you blend it down too much and no one will ever know. I've just gone back there with the kind of lighter pink shade, and I'm just kind of blending this into the edges so you have that even blend. So it's going from light to like your medium shade and then your dark shade. So now I'm going to take the Belle of the Ball, which is the beautiful rose gold shade, and I'm going to use the double-ended brush that came with this palette. Can I just say that the Sigma brushes are so sturdy. Oh my god, they're like the most like beautiful brushes I've ever held. They're like really strong, and there's actually a 2-year warranty with them as well. Just something they included in the package, which is so amazing. So it just shows you like how good quality they are, but they feel it, like they feel expensive. So I'm going to be taking that beautiful rose gold, and we're just going to start packing this onto the lid. Oh my god. Can we just, oh look, got a bit of concealer on my face. This is just so beautiful, oh my god. So now I'm just going to finish off with the lower lash line. So I'm using this pencil brush. This is the E30 from Sigma. Again, oh my god, I just can't get over how like strong they feel. So amazing. Anyways, I'm just going to apply a little bit of this matte nude shade just on my brow bone, just while the brush is clean. You can use a flat brush as well if you'd like. So this, I'm just going to bring it right under here just to kind of finish that off. And then for the lower lash line, we're going to take a little bit of the pink and the purple, tap off the excess, and we're just going to run this across the lower lash line. I'm just going to be creating a very thin band of liner. I'm going to be using the same brush we used to cut the crease, just because it's really small and detailed and it's perfect for creating eyeliner. It's just so small and you can get it nice. You have like a lot of control in there, so you don't like apply too much liner or go too thick. So this is like the perfect brush for that. And this, does anyone else find a new gel liner or a new cream eyeshadow like really satisfying? Like just that feeling of like dipping into it. So I'm just going to start in the middle, and we're just going to bring that liner right out to the end. And then I'm just going to start bringing it from the middle right into the inner corner. And then I just like to go back to the end and just run over it one more time to make sure it's nice and smooth. So to finish off the look, I'm going to be using the lashes from the Eyelash Emporium. These are so pretty. So they sent me down a big box of them. I actually hadn't heard of this brand before. They were recommended to me by a friend, so I was dying to try them out. They're reusable for up to 20 wears, and it is faux mink as well. So I'm just going to trim these a little bit. I'm going to stick them on off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll finish off the face. So moving on to the face, I'm going to be using the Sigma Sculpt palette, and sorry, this might blind you. I've used this in a couple of my videos. I love this highlight and contour palette. I love having both in one palette as well. I think it's class, handy for traveling and everything. So I'm going to be using this shade right here, the kind of a medium contour shade. I feel like this one's too dark for me, and this one's a little bit too like ashy for me, quite cool toned, so I like a little bit more of a warmer tone highlight, or sorry, contour. And then we have the highlight shades up here. These I mentioned before, like they don't look like they're anything special in the packaging, but when you put them on, they're like so pigmented and so glowy and beautiful. So I do love a good highlight. I'm going to be using this brush, which is the brand new brush from the package. It's the bronzer and contour brush. So this doesn't have a number. It's like a little angle brush, which is great for, you know, kind of lining it up with the top of your ear. It's nice and angled, so it will help you with your contour. Just apply it a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to go from the top of the ear. I'm just gonna go like this, just to kind of, please excuse the face, I don't know what this is, but I'm just chiseling out that contour, just swirling it in circular motions, just to kind of buff it out. I'm going to be using this gorgeous Sigma pink blush, and we're just going to dip into that with the powder brush. Oh my god, this feels so soft on the skin, it's so pretty. So we're just going to take a popping and the highlight brush, and I'm just going to like lather this all over my face. Ooh, yes. These brushes are so soft. Oh my god. they're like a dream to work with. And to finish off the look, we're going to be using one of these matte lipsticks. So I'm thinking I might go for the pinky nude shade just to kind of bring out the rose gold and the purples in this look. So I'm thinking, will we go maybe this shade? What's this? A good lipstick. Okay, this shade right here. So cute, they're so small. Pinchy winchy. Yeah, I like that colour. I love the colour, but I have to say I'm not overly loving the texture of it. It's one of those sticky matte lipsticks. Like my lips are like sticking together. I don't like that feeling, so not a big fan of that, but the colour is beautiful. Really, really pretty. Like, I always knew their brushes were amazing, but my god, when I actually held them in my hand, like the quality, like you can tell they're good brushes. And I love the fact that they have a 2-year warranty on their brushes. I don't know any brush brand that actually does that, so that's amazing. So I definitely recommend checking those brushes out. The other thing, the other highlight of the whole everything I've tried today will be the palette, of course. It's the first ever Sigma eyeshadow palette I've tried, and my god, I was not disappointed. Again, like I said, I love the color story, so beautiful. The colors are beautiful, they all worked beautifully. There was no fallout. Yeah, like no skipping. They're just overall beautiful eyeshadows that like literally can't fault it. The only thing people might find like a negative as such would be the price point. Colourpop do have a palette called Sweet Talk, which has kind of similar shades in it, so if you want to create something kind of similar, this is also a good option for you, and it's just a little bit cheaper. But overall, really happy with the palette and all the products I've tried today, and I'm not just saying that because they sent them down to me. They are really beautiful products, but the highlight of the whole look would be the eyeshadow palette and the brushes. The brushes are just absolutely incredible. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to give it a nice thumbs up and subscribe before you leave, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. My question for you is, do you have any Sigma products, or will you be picking up anything in the sale, and what are your favorite products? So you can leave them in the comment section. I really hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope I get to see you in my next video. Ciao!